sure. My name's Eric Mofford. I have a film called Traveling Trains, and I got started. I was a filmmaker when I was a kid. I had the Super 8 camera, took it from Dad. I said, stop doing the vacation movies, let me make movies, and started shooting a lot of stuff, and eventually brought my friends in and realized it was a really cool way to be cool with my friends and make movies. And at that point, we would have our awards show, and we'd have different awards for the actors, but the Best Director award, I was always listed as you had 5 choices and it was always me, but it was 5 different films. So eventually that led to me going to film school, where I learned to sort of work with 60mm and video, and I've been doing it ever since. That Traveling Trains was a film that I actually, well, let me first just say that the reason I showed Traveling Trains tonight, when I was asked to show a film, they said, "What? Show something that you feel represents yourself." And I felt like Traveling Trains, even though it's been done many years ago, represented myself because it never had, clients or actors or anybody putting in their 2 cents worth. It was all my choices. So good or bad, it's me. So that's kind of like the film I like representing myself, even though it was done almost 15 or plus years ago, but it just got released on DVD and it's kind of had a new life. I shot it on 60mm black and white film, which is kind of like a rarity these days, but that kind of is what gives it its. The story takes place in 1930s, late 30s, and it has that quality. And a lot of people think it's original footage from that period of time, and it's only because of reshooting, shooting it at a 4:3 standard def with black and white 60mm footage. Well, I think things have changed, because when I first started in filmmaking, it was about the ideas, and that Traveling Trains is an idea that happened I was living in Atlanta. I was hanging out at a blues club called Blind Willie's, listening to these blues guys who were in the movie, and writing the script there in the bar, over a glass of scotch or whiskey, and now, as I've gotten older, a lot of the stuff that I'm doing as a filmmaker is sadly or not, is based on what somebody else wants to do because of the finances. It's really hard for me to jump into a project like I did then and sort of say, okay, I'm going to just do it without any money. And even then, Traveling Trains was from grants, and I didn't spend a penny of my own money. So it's hard for me to think about doing that, spending my own money. Though I love that idea of people doing that, I always find that I don't like to shortchange myself. So I'd rather have the money there to make the film I want to make, which is partly why a lot of the projects that I've got right now are still kind of in development. Well, all right. So here's what's happening that I'm really excited about. It's this whole idea of people sharing their work with each other, and Raw is a great example of that, where basically they're bringing filmmakers, artists, musicians, performers together in one event. That this kind of normally happens. You have that kind of film festival feeling when it's all just movies and that you get all together. But this kind of event brings all that kind of people together, that I think is great, because now you're kind of turning yourself onto a different audience. And so the nice thing is that I showed my film to an audience that normally has not seen or wouldn't have seen the film. And I think that's the difference about Raw artists versus sort of a normal film festival or a theater performance or anything like that. It's a party representing the artists, which so I'm honored to be part of it. My name is Eric Mofford, and I am a Raw artist.